It's 6 o'clock.
Good morning.
Welcome to Daybreak. It's Monday the 2nd of May.
Osama bin Laden is dead. President Obama.
With the roundup on the latest on this dramatic news, here's Tasman.
6, back to Adrian and Kate.
Thanks very much indeed. Well, the death of Osama bin Laden.
Colonel Bob, I mean, the Americans haven't exactly covered themselves in long years, but it does seem some kind of operation that...
That's the danger, so no doubt security states...
Right structure that decapitating...
...will be very destructive, and I think we'll all be very pleased that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge...
And I know there is deep, deep concern, and I don't think that the death of Osama bin Laden will do anything to lessen that, far from it.
Ahead of today's final session. Chatting to Barry McGuigan in around 20 minutes' time on the death of Henry Cooper. That's all sport now.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you. Well, we are getting lots of reactions, you imagine, from around the world to the death of bin Laden. I think we have pictures from Washington where as soon as the news was announced, we haven't got them at the moment, but you can imagine thousands of people took to the street.
With Uncle Ben's sources.
Attacks against our country and our friends and allies. The death of bin Laden, effort to defeat al-Qaeda.
Well, with us this morning, we've got Colonel Bob Stewart, Middle East expert at Darwish, and Sally Lives here, all here commenting on things as they develop. Extraordinary morning. Sally, we've heard that...
An individual with a suicide jacket may approach anywhere in a market or in a popular tourist area where an American may be. And if they see trouble, they get out of an area extremely quickly.
Adele, we saw those scenes in...
...town, I think, just north of Islamabad. But you're right, so you mean reaction...
I mean, yeah,
Western way of life. In Tunisia, in Egypt.
Fine and bright day as most of us head back to work. Find out what's in store for the next 5 days.
Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda.
Thanks very much. Getting lots of reaction from you to the news of Osama bin Laden's death. Has to be said that the main people very pleased, very relieved. Shari Friel says just news, and Jackie Chorley simply says a job well done.
Come in and just take his place. Is it that simple, Bob? A little bit more optimistic that his time and the time of his life may have passed a little bit.
Yes.
Kretschmer.
President
Lots
Obama.
and lots of, Adrian, lots of reaction coming in from me. Julian Westlake says this sends out a strong message. There's no hiding place, however long it takes. Others simply saying we will never, ever forget the horror that this man inflicted on everyone here and in America for 9/11 and 7/7.
Someone who'd certainly chime with that is that former New York firefighter Tim Brown. 93 of his colleagues were killed in the 9/11 terror attacks. He heads an organisation called The Bravest.
Thank you.
A question that struck Kate and I earlier, Adele, is that they will surely have to put the body on display. I mean, without wishing to get into the macabre, I mean, there'll be plenty of people who won't believe it's true otherwise.
Yeah, it's one of those...
Well, we'll be having more on the death of Osama bin Laden and the implications for all of us after this break.
Just gone 6:45.
Competition time and your chance to win £50,000.
On to 10 to 7, the headlines this morning. The world's most wanted president speaking at about 4:30 this morning, UK time.
Let's speak to Robert Moore now, ITV's Washington.
Now from Lucy. 7 o'clock.
Good morning.
Welcome to Daybreak. It's Monday the 2nd of May.
A huge story developing overnight. Osama bin Laden is dead. President...
In the mix on this morning, we have... Bob, what do you understand of the operation itself? To get American Special Forces in the middle of Pakistan and execute this?
It seems rather grisly, I think, to some of us that they took his evidence that he's dead.
Exactly. I mean, this is something...
It's a very good thing.
He has placed enormous importance in the last few hours. He appears to be dead. And B, we can, we can be sure that this is the kind of...
Join our political editor, Sue, the sense of relief in the States. But Kate and I were both saying somewhat uncomfortable with the sense of triumphalism there, chanting USA outside the White House.
And many play out in the Muslim world, those kind of scenes.
Depends very much on...
The Americans have been warned to exercise vigilance when they travel abroad. I don't quite know how you do that. If you're American, you can't help it. What do you do? Not leave your hotel? Or leave your hotel because your hotel's dangerous? What does one do?
Well, in the very...
Worried here, Colonel Bob? Should we be worried ourselves?
Well, we should always be worried. But abroad, check number plates, all that sort of thing will suddenly...
Shortly, we'll be taking a little break from this to look back at Friday's events. We'll be talking to Andrew Morton, who's managed to get a book out in time on William and Catherine incorporating the royal wedding, if you don't mind. Andrew will be with us shortly.
Yeah, let's check what's happening where you are this morning first, though.
It's 7:15 on Daybreak. Princess Diana's biographer Andrew Morton is him and Catherine out incorporating the wedding, which isn't we got a kind of a mock-up of it, but this is roughly what it looked like. It'll be in the shops today.
It's in the shops today. It was printed in Italy.
Great to do that in that kind of speed. Why did you want to have it so fresh? Why do you want to grab the moment? So what did you make of Friday?
Loved it. I thought it was
there in everything we saw, but rarely specifically mentioned by name. Tellingly, the Sun put a picture of her on the front page, but didn't actually mention a name, which I don't know whether that was significant. They might be taking it too far, but do you know what I mean? She was there, but not there.
Well, I think.
She's gone off to a flyer. What are the potholes in the road ahead of her?
We
got heirs to the throne queuing up as it stands. Do we need another one?
You've got to think ahead.
Made that she's a commoner, but I think it's reassuring for the aristocracy to know that her father does have a.
That she's not quite as common as us, isn't it? Really,
we will only know the royal family is truly nice when she's me as a flymo or something. Has to physically push it.
And in his speech,
unhappiness to many people, many around him may have known that, but for the rest of us, it was a first sense of the revelations. Do you think that she is better equipped to deal with that kind of luck?
And best of luck with the book. Is the feeling coming back to your fingers now?
Only just.
Massage.
OK, thanks very much. It's just gone 7:20. Still to come on Daybreak on the morning that it's emerged that Osama bin Laden.
President Obama there announcing the death of Osama bin Laden. Let's cross now to Washington.
What a huge gamble this was for President Obama. I was a teenager when there was the failed attempt to free the American hostage. Let's get the weather now from Lucy. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Daybreak on Monday the 2nd of May.
In the next half an hour, more reaction to the news that Osama bin Laden is dead.
Let's get more detail on that. Here's Tasman with the news.
And that is the big news this morning at nearly 20 to 8.
Cordelia Kretschmar looks back at the life of the world's most wanted man.
Remind us briefly, where did he spring from, this man? How does the son of a Saudi billionaire end up being Osama bin Laden?
Yeah, but he gave
some of the comments and questions we've got coming in from people. Samantha Lovett, whose husband is a British soldier serving in Afghanistan. Does this mean that our service personnel can come home sooner?
Sarah Louise makes the same point. Does that mean we'll get out of Afghanistan? It has zero impact, as I understand. The good doctor, the Egyptian that Adele mentioned there, Sally, he's very significant, isn't he? He is.
Why didn't they capture him? Why make a martyr of him by killing him?
But that's the interesting thing, isn't it?
Okay, we've got lots more analysis of this coming up. Time for a short break now, though. See you in a bit.
Should we go back to the royal wedding?
Shall we?
Yes.
Shall we look at some other news this morning? Well, it's going to have a look at some lovely photos, like everyone does. You've had the wedding, kick back, look at the snaps.
I mean, normally you have to wait a few weeks, don't you,
for
your
wedding
photos?
You have to snappy snaps and all that kind of thing.
They expedite it, don't they?
They do. You've got Hugo Bernard, the official photographer for the wedding of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, an event he called the gig of the century. Were you terrified? I mean, it's the sort of thing you just can't get wrong, isn't it?
I wasn't.
Have some occasionally saucy banter to get a smile on the faces, but
because sometimes you get 8 people looking wonderful and one not.
Blinking or something. Trying to get your dogs to sit, that kind of thing.
Of the coverage, Eve, over the weekend, it seems to me they've got it in for Pippa a little bit, because I think journalists are just fed up being nice about the whole thing, so they've got to start being a bit catty now.
Too much joy.
Pippa's second son, I think, should go for it. You know, there'll be a king, a future king.
Waited and had a double wedding and got it all done.
It'd be much cheaper, wouldn't it?
Yes, of course.
Bangers and mash.
All right. I think it's still to come on Daybreak. More reaction to the big news we wait. Let's get the weather now from Lucy. It's 8 o'clock.
Good morning.
Welcome to Daybreak, Monday the 2nd of May.
Osama bin Laden is dead.
With the latest news on the night's dramatic events, Tasman is here.
Thanks very much indeed. To discuss the death of bin Laden this morning, we have Colonel... Yeah, very brave work, no doubt, though, and huge relief from that former colonel there. Let's go to Washington.
Sally Livesey, they're concerned that the threat might have increased. A kind of a backlash. Is that a fear you...
Well, that seems quite positive in a way that there could be a break, as you say, in the emotional connection in this way. Will, in fact, increase recruitment.
Thought, I've got no idea what goes on between the ears of extremes, but a chilling thought there are people waking up in this country, Al-Qaeda sympathisers for whom this will be, what, if all he was a symbol, as you say, then
OK, we're back for more after the news, weather and travel. Where you are this morning. Hi there, competition time now. Your chance to win £50,000. Sorry, no, good point,
Every
good
word
point.
carefully
Good point.
considered. They'll say Heath Pollard.
We can't stop talking
Stop
about
the
it, can we?
chitter-chatter.
Exciting, it's too exciting.
We have three kind of royal musketeers here. We've got Princess Diana's biographer, Andrew Morton.
Because, as you say, he was less than 24 hours old, wasn't he, the first time he took a snap?
Very proud of his son, as he is of his mother, but there he is, sandwiched between two hugely popular royals. And yet, he's the man in line.
It's pretty windy, no.
Photographs.
All agree, let's end there, shall we?
The media's been looking for a gold...
Let's get the weather now.
Well, what an astonishing morning with the announcement in the early hours that Osama bin Laden is dead.
We'll hand over to Lorraine in a moment, but first, here's what we were watching at 4:30 a.m. this morning when we got into work. The news that President Obama announced to the world from Washington.